Hey everybody, Aaron here, and
Anissa
from Countryside Acres. That's as much enthusiasm as you could give her.
I guess.
Hey everybody, Aaron and Anissa here again from Countryside Acres. We thought we'd do another little video this week of just some of the things that we thought were interesting and maybe a bit strange here in Georgia upon arrival and afterwards. So hope you enjoy. Hey, interrupt this thing. If you haven't hit the subscribe button yet, go ahead and do so right now. We will wait for you. We'll just do nothing useful and just wait as you go over there and hit subscribe. And don't forget to hit the notification bell so that you'll see all of our videos. We've got some good stuff coming up in the future across the next couple of years. It'll be good. No dryers. That was something that we noticed right away.
Yes.
It's more your department than mine.
Actual clothes dryers.
No clothes dryers.
Yeah, they sell them in the store, but doesn't appear anybody has them.
You actually seen them?
Well,
I've never seen any in the store.
actually no.
I believe we were
I
told
think
you could custom order them. Yes, and we went to a laundromat once. They had a dryer.
Yes, that was another thing that was interesting. Is the laundromat we went to, we put our stuff in the washer, and I brought soap in my purse, and they're like, no, no. They have soap machines, dispensers in the back of the washing machine, so that's all included in the price at the washing.
I don't know if that's every laundromat.
I don't know.
This one we went to.
It was completely all.
So it seemed like more money. That maybe a bit expensive, we thought, but at the same time, you don't have to do any soaps or nothing. It's all automatically dispensed.
Yeah, it was kind of interesting. So
I guess the downside is if you don't like their soap.
Yeah, that is the.
But yeah, no dryers in the houses. Everybody washes their clothes and then hangs them up to dry. And I guess it is very dry here in this particular part of Georgia, at least, but most of Georgia is fairly dry, or eastern anyway. And yeah, clothes will dry pretty quick out there, I guess.
We've noticed too that most people hang their stuff up in the evening, and then by morning the clotheslines, majority of them are empty again.
Yeah, depending on what it is.
Yeah.
Yep, personal items. Laundry lines, that's another thing. Laundry lines all over the place. So we're not city folks anyways, but when we do go to the city, we don't see laundry hanging up in the big high rises.
No.
Not where we're from. Maybe, I don't know, post down here if it's something that happens in your area, but I've never seen laundry hanging out.
No.
Maybe the odd rug on a balcony or something. But here you drive through the city and you see the high rises. I don't know how many stories are the average, probably 8 or 9 stories, 10 stories. Something like that, and all the balconies, they have the laundry lines out, just like we have on our apartment here. I think I've showed video of that before. I still think it's kind of neat. It's a little bit annoying, I guess, frustrating maybe, because we're used to dryers, but they don't use them here, and it's incredibly dry here, and it basically never rains. We've had one day where we've traveled around and actually been raining. We had one other day maybe with some spitters, and the only other time it rained was at night. What they have instead is out your window. This is the kitchen window. You can open this up. They've got these steel bars come out from either side. They got all these loops with a string tied on them. So not everybody's got one. Actually, I think we're the only ones on this side of the house. You can see somebody over there's got one. They got a few things hanging there. Looks like we're the only ones on this side. Yep, we are. The other side of the house, a lot of other apartments have this. I don't know why we're on the back, they're on the front. Not sure. I don't think it's deliberate discrimination. It's okay. But it's kind of neat. So you hang all your stuff out here. Obviously, you could have multiple strings. We only have 4 strings. That's all this house had, but there's lots more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more loops. So we could hang a total of 10 lines out here. And so I use a broom to shove them out there and pull them back as they slide along here. It's kind of neat.
When we first went to the original apartment that we were just renting for 8 days when we arrived, it was quite unusual. They had a washing machine in the kitchen, but then we were like, okay, well, where are we supposed to dry our stuff? And then we seen the clothesline, the clothes pegs outside, so it didn't take us long to realize that they didn't have dryers here, and that's how everybody dries their clothes.
Yeah, I mean, it works.
Yeah.
Today was a little bit windy. We were losing some stuff, but For the most part, it works good.
Yep.
All right, another one that we noticed is plugs were really high. So this particular house, though, the plugs, the outlets in the wall, they're actually more of a decent level. But some of the other places we've seen, they were incredibly high up, like 2 feet off the ground. And the switches for the lights, they are just a hair higher than the outlets.
Yeah.
they're really, really low here. We're used to them being, a lot higher up. The kids could easily play, little kids could easily play on and off with the light switches.
Yeah. And the light switches themselves, we are used to them. When you push them one way, it turns on. The other way, you turn it off. Here, it's the opposite of what we're used to.
Right. Yeah.
So, like, you turn it.
So far that's been every house like that. I don't know if that's a code thing.
I don't know either. I just know that when you push it, which way is
when
it?
we push the top end of the switch, it turns on, and the bottom turns off. And here it's the other way around.
Yeah. Which is interesting.
Yeah, we're going to pay more attention now, more places to go and see if it's like that everywhere. But yeah, definitely the last two houses are like that.
Last three places, yeah.
You're right. Concrete, more concrete.
Everything is concrete.
What state was that? Iowa? Idaho? There's corn everywhere. Here it's concrete. Everything is made out of concrete. Even the hydro posts, the power poles that hold the lines up, they're made of concrete. They're poured concrete square posts that they then put in the ground. A lot of the power poles along the highway as well are concrete. Like this one right over here across the road has a concrete pole. Can't really tell, eh? That's all concrete.
Yep. Everything.
Fence posts, like for people's backyards fences, there's square 4x4 concrete fence posts. Curbing around gardens.
Just everything. Like everything. I just can't get over
There's concrete walkways, concrete flower beds.
Yeah.
Everything's made of concrete. There's concrete everywhere.
Yeah, I look around and I'm like, man, that's so expensive. Because like where we're from, concrete is so expensive. So like nothing's concrete. It's all trees. We're here. There's no trees. So everything's concrete.
Concrete has got to be cheap.
It's got to be cheap.
What else did we see? It was railway ties. The railway ties here, so back home, they're made of, I don't even know what kind of wood, but they're soaked in creosote. Here, the railway ties are all made of concrete.
Yeah, so the next thing is toilets. They don't have very many for one. You go out in a public place, and they don't have any toilets. So you are very limited to where you can actually take your children or yourselves to the bathroom. A lot of times you have to pay for them when you do actually use them, which is a normal, I think, European thing, which is great.
Yeah, I've run into that before,
Yeah, but the other thing is when you go in a lot of times after you paid, or even when you don't pay, and you go in and there's no toilet. There's just a hole in the ground. And there's like these...
at least they have those attraction spots.
Yeah.
And get in there, I'll show you these funny bathrooms. I think they're hilarious. Okay, so this is the men's bathroom. I'm assuming the ladies is the same, elastic rolls. But there's no toilets. Okay, so they got these lines here, traction pads, where you can stand and squat and do your business. Anyway, I kind of like the American style toilets. Cora doesn't really like it either, do you? It's weird, isn't it?
Well, it's not that I don't like it, it's just different.
It works. Good thing they have some anti-slip pads there, eh?
I don't know, and nobody wants to stand there. Anyway, that apparently you're just supposed to aim, and a lot of people can't aim, so public bathrooms are quite disgusting. It's like, don't touch anything. And
you have to pay to use it too.
You have to pay to use it. So it is what it is, but it's just something that's really hard to get used to. It's kind of gross. The other thing we've noticed is there's no shower curtains. Anywhere we've ever looked, there's no shower curtains. So you have a bathroom, and they normally have it tiled. Everywhere's tiled, as well as concrete. It's all tiled, which is great. But they have no shower curtain, and there's usually holes in the floor, and water just squirts everywhere, all over your bathroom when you're showering, and usually all over the toilet. And
this is a major pet peeve of mine. It drives me nuts.
Everywhere that there's just water.
If you're done showering, you have to dry the entire floor with another towel, wash the floor, dry up the sink, the toilet, the water goes everywhere.
I have a funny thing to talk about here, because when we first got together, that was one of his pet peeves, was the bath mat.
It's our first fight. That was really a fight. First disagreement.
It's the bath mat. I grew up with a bath mat. So you have a bath mat on the floor and you get out of the shower or the tub and you step on the bath mat with your wet feet and then you dry yourself off. Where he grew up with not that.
No, hang on, let's change this. They get out of the shower completely soaking wet, step on the bath mat, then grab the towel.
There'd be 2 wet spots from where both your feet are.
Soaking wet.
No, they're not that wet. Anyway, so he wouldn't do that. He would literally dry.
Still arguing about it.
He would literally dry himself off and then throw his towel on the floor, step on the towel, and then finish drying himself off with the dirty towel that he just
It's
used.
not dirty, it's still clean.
The floor is filthy.
If you clean the floor,
Anyway,
it wouldn't be
so
dirty.
that's fine. I got rid of the bath mat because I love him. So it was
Well, see,
either
here's
the
the problem.
bath mat or me.
Here's the problem. I come in with my sock feet, and this bath mat has now got 2
Yeah.
sopping wet spots on it, and you walk across the bath mat, and now your socks are soaked. And it would just
Yeah.
drive me nuts. So, like, if you people would just dry yourselves off in the shower before getting out, at least start drying. If you want to just leave wet feet, that's one thing. But they
That's
come
what it
out
was.
dripping
It's
wet.
dry
No,
feet.
you would not.
Yeah.
And they would be completely drenched.
It wouldn't.
So, anyway, in this scenario,
Anyway,
same thing. Water
So
sprays
It
everywhere.
sprays everywhere, but there's no bath mat
No.
to catch the water. It's
So there's
just
a floor
everywhere.
drain for the bathroom, and then there's a floor drain for the shower, and there's like this much of a lip or something.
Yeah,
But I mean, the water.
it's really
sprays everywhere.
ridiculous. I even think it's ridiculous. Like
The last place, no, the first place we lived in here actually had shower glass,
Doors.
shower doors.
Yeah, except for the one was
The
broken.
last place, same thing. The water just sprayed everywhere. All the places we pretty well looked at to rent, water would have just went everywhere. No shower curtains anywhere.
No, it's
And
one of them
so-
only just had a nozzle for your shower on the side of the wall in the bathroom, right over top of the toilet. Which, okay, whatever, it is what it is. But
It's a
like,
good way of cleaning down the toilet while you're in there.
yeah, well, my theory is just have a squeegee then,
Something, yeah.
right? Like if there was a squeegee in there, then you could just squeegee your water down the hole when you're done, and you can.
These are minor inconveniences. We could easily remedy
know.
this by buying a shower curtain.
I know,
assuming
it
they
just
sell
seems
one,
like
but-
it's again the difference of
Yeah.
what they do here. It's just normal for them, and to us, we're like, this is really ridiculous. Like everything gets wet every time you have a shower.
Yep.
Anyway, it's just
Good excuse to clean the floor.
There you
All right, that's the bathroom. We got that part covered.
go.
Gas lines,
Yes.
above ground gas lines. Never seen that in my life. Seems very unsafe. These gas lines, all right? They're all above ground. That's gas for heating his house, and they're all through town like that. You see the gas lines on the other side there. That's all gas, which is definitely different. We would consider that to be kind of unsafe. It seems very unsafe because there's literally natural gas flowing through all these lines all over the place.
Yeah, and then they have smaller ones, like in the villages, they have smaller ones up, and then they have bigger ones out.
Yeah, bigger ones
Out
and
in
little
the
ones go to
country.
different houses. Where we are, they're all buried under the ground, which seems like a much safer idea. Apparently, I've heard though the reason they don't do that is because seismic activity. They do have occasional earthquake activity, and being
I
above
never thought of
ground,
that.
everything can kind of it's more forgiving. Where if it was buried in the ground, they'd end up with more leaks. So there's a good reasoning behind it, but we were like, what is with all the gas lines?
Yeah, there doesn't seem to be any issues with it. I haven't heard of any explosions or anything.
Not so long as we've been here, no. Mind you, speaking of explosions, it's not on the list. Fireworks. Apparently that's the thing here. You can buy them and light them up wherever you want. And so periodically we hear quite often fireworks going. Tonight again they were blasting fireworks just outside the apartment here. It's a common thing. For a country that doesn't allow you to carry a pocket knife, you're allowed to shoot fireworks
Blow things up
wherever
all
you
the
want.
time. There you go.
What was next? The 2 different size plugs. I have also found a reason for that one, I believe. But yes, they have outlets here. They're round. Instead of in North America, we have like the skinny flat ones. They have round ones here. As all of Europe, I think, is the same way.
Does the States have the same plugs as us?
Yeah, they got the same ones
Okay.
as we do.
There you go.
The house that we were renting in, our stuff that we had wouldn't fit in the plugs. They had smaller holes, and our appliances all had bigger, we would call it bigger prongs. I guess it wouldn't fit in there. I've since found out though, I think that's an amperage rating. The smaller ones are also a lower amperage, and the bigger ones require more amperage, and so you can't stick them in there and end up melting wires down. Something like that.
Probably was older house, and they had an update.
Maybe they updated the
That
wiring
would
or something.
explain they plug stuff in.
Could be, but it still was interesting that they had 2 different sizes. We do not have that. You can easily overload a breaker, I guess, at our place, but then the breakers will flip.
Right. Yeah. They don't have breakers, do they?
I imagine they do. Yeah, there's some up in the front here. Not quite as many as what we'd have, but there is some here. It's 240 though, right? So 240 volts, you can carry a lot more amperage on a line. or a lot more voltage or whatever, a lot more power. It'll
There
go
you
for
go.
it.
Great dogs.
Oh yes.
We've talked about this in some of our
Multiple
other
times.
videos. There's a lot of stray dogs, and it's not like they're bad dogs.
Dare a dog. Dare a dog. Dare a dog. Dare a dog.
They're a dog.
Is it distracting you?
I wonder what you were doing actually.
There's dogs everywhere, and nobody seems to own them. They just kind of wander wherever they want, and do whatever they want, do their business at the flower beds. Nobody seems to care.
No.
People stop their cars to let the dogs cross the road. They
Yep.
sleep where they want, run where they want.
Yep, they feed.
People go to the grocery store, buy bread for themselves, snap a chunk off, feed it to the dog.
Yep, the dogs are well fed.
Lots of places you go, you see a little dish for water and a dish for dog food.
Yep.
Lots of stores you go into, you see a little mat laid out so a dog
Yeah.
can come in and lay on it.
Yep, they have dogs wandering through stores today.
No, it's not a religious thing. They're not holy people bowing down or worshiping a
It's
dog.
weird.
You know, to me, I found them kind of a nuisance, all these stray dogs, but they're actually well behaved. I had
Yeah.
one dog snap and snarl at me one time, but then one of the locals here chewed that dog up and
Yep,
barked at it.
She put it in its
I heard
spot.
the dog yelp at the way it went, and I've never seen that dog again. So, but other than that, no, they're all super friendly.
Yeah.
Come in all shapes and sizes. They're not particular to one breed or another. There's just
No.
a lot of random dogs.
It's almost therapeutic that a lot of people like pet the dog and
Yeah.
spend time with the dog, and then
They really seem to enjoy them.
yeah, then they move on and carry on. I'm assuming there's a reason they keep them alive and keep them around. I
I have no
I don't
idea.
know.
Some people do actually have like pet dogs where they have them on a leash. You see that as well. Not very often, but
No.
you do see some of that
That's the one today. I see a Pomeranian in the mall.
on a leash.
Yeah, on a leash. He was walking
There you
around the mall. That's just normal too.
But while we're on the subject of things wandering everywhere, what else wanders everywhere?
Sheep,
Sheep and cows.
cows.
Everywhere. Our place, here comes some of the village cows coming by here.
That's the dog I
That's the first one. Hey, where to next, boss? And they got some dogs here. I'm guessing belong to the shepherd. The shepherd walks behind him. He's shoveling up the manure, tossing it into people's fields. Cows are allowed to wander around randomly here. And it's up to you to fence your property, I've been told. So, at least it keeps the grass cut. That's actually neat. You drive down the road and you see like, I don't know, how many you think was in that herd today?
I don't know, but it's like Heidi.
300
the
or something
books.
sheep.
The Heidi books.
Yeah,
Us
he's herding the sheep.
herding the sheep or the cows through
Yeah,
the.
so we passed by, I forget, it wasn't even that far from here. Yeah, we passed by an area on the side of the highway. And
Yeah,
it must have been
Just at the.
at least 300 sheep there. One shepherd watching them. They're all busy
It's
grazing.
really cool. Just like literally outside the city.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
then-
it's like every grass you can think of. Like if you don't have your grass fenced, that's fair game.
Yeah.
They can.
That was really different for us, guys.
Yeah.
I mean, if our cows are out, somebody will phone, the cows are out, and then it's like a mad scramble. Cows are out! And everybody stops what to do, and then we go get the cows
Yeah.
before somebody
Running
gets
through our
one.
gas.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're here. No, it's fair game, and you got to stop. Like cars stop for cows, and like wait for the car. And then there's no signs
No.
that say cow crossings or anything.
Everybody here just knows it.
Yeah, it's just.
And as crazy as they drive, I've never seen a dead cow on the side of the road yet. So.
No. Yeah, but there's one thing I've noticed is we haven't had any. There's no wildlife really.
No.
Right?
No.
Like there's lots of wild cows and wild sheep. No.
She was worried this list is short and we weren't going to have enough to talk about, but there you go. Yeah, there's another one. I don't see a lot of wild birds.
Yeah, just like there's the odd bird.
No, we first got here, it was like that magpie thing.
Yeah, there's magpies, but like I'm just surprised there's not more, being that it's so warm.
Mm-hmm.
And just our last video, I think it was our last video, and the one before
Yeah, the
that.
birds that are native to this area probably don't think it's warm. Probably think it's cold and they
And
head
they-
south. Right?
Maybe.
They go to Saudi Arabia or someplace warmer.
I guess.
I don't know. Doesn't
Could
matter.
be. It could be. I was just surprised that there's not more throughout, but maybe because they don't feed them here or something.
That could be. I've never seen a bird feeder.
No, I've never seen a bird feeder either. They would
Interesting.
probably think we're odd if we hung one out. Why would you want to feed them pesky things, right? Where we think it's odd, why would you want to feed all the stray dogs?
Yeah.
It's so weird.
The dogs, yeah, I prefer to have birds. I think the dogs could carry.
Well, yes and no. I'm
Bugs
assuming
and
they
stuff,
have a
too.
purpose, right? They probably keep down the rat population.
Maybe.
Is what I'm thinking. And the cats and the mice and stuff.
Yeah, cats, we see that quite a bit too. They're usually in the dumpster there. You know, so.
Probably.
There's another one that's an
Probably
interesting
our
thing that we
basement.
noticed. Dumpsters. So we don't have to worry about what day is garbage day and make sure our bags are out by the roads so somebody can pick them up. There's just dumpsters down here. So every time you leave the apartment, you take a couple of bags or whatever you have for garbage, you heave it into the dumpster. There's no recycling program here. You don't have to like sort out your cardboard and your plastics from your regular garbage or your your compost and stuff. It all just goes in the same bin. Some left hand and some right hand drivers. So the cars here, from what I understand, Europe, and again, you guys might know better than me because I don't live in Europe, but I understand that it sounds like they got pretty strict standards for their vehicles in Europe. They can only drive them for so many years, or maybe they don't meet some kind of inspection anymore. Anyway, they ship them off. So that's where a lot of the vehicles come from here, and they're not partial to one or the other. So some days you're in a track seat with the steering wheel on the right hand side, and the next day you're in one of those on the left hand side.
Yeah.
And it was really weird for me. I usually sit in the front beside the taxi guy, and it was really weird sitting on the wrong side of the car. Because
Now I don't think of it.
no, it just feels weird because you're not supposed to be on that side. You're supposed to be on the other side, right? I got no steering wheel, no pedals.
And you didn't start driving.
I'm on the driver's side, which
You
is
didn't
normal.
start
But
driving?
no, I joked with the one driver the one time. But
Beep, beep.
yeah, so the cars are all different kinds of brands. A lot of the same manufacturers as we would see at home, but not the same. What do you call that? Makes, I guess. Right, so we have Mercedes in our country, but I've never seen some of these like station wagon. I've never seen a Mercedes station wagon before. Mercedes and BMW, those are like high-end cars in my mind. And here, there's a soccer mom driving around in a BMW station wagon. Right, where station wagon, I don't see that as a high-end car. That's a soccer mom's car, right, or something. They don't even make station wagons anymore, do they? I don't think so.
Sure.
Not home. Anyway, so that's kind of neat, but yeah, a lot of the
And
wrong
then
side.
I find the driving here is something to get used to too.
Yes, yeah, that was a
There's,
different
like,
culture
it's
shock.
All over the free-for-all on the
Strange, but it works. They're very good drivers.
most of them. There's the odd one that are not very good drivers. But yeah, for the most part, I haven't been screaming or the odd time I get a little nervous, but for the most part, they're pretty good.
Yep, fairly safe. What was the next? There's seatbelts. No rules. So the front two, the driver and the passenger, have to wear a seatbelt up in the front, but the rest of the car you don't have to wear a seatbelt. There's no law for it. Pretty lax on their seatbelt rules here, so we can cram as many as we want in the car. Apparently, as long as the front people have seatbelts on. It sounds like there's no rule for how many people you stick in the car either. And the other guy told me that you're not legally you have to have a seat for each passenger, but the cops kind of do this or something like that. So basically there's no rule. There's no ticket for it in any case, whether it is actually allowed or not allowed. We do it all the time now. Cram 4 or 5 little kids in the back. They don't have booster seats. I was trying to explain it to one taxi guy. He's got a kid too, and saying how we have to have these booster seats. So in Ontario, the children have to be in a booster seat with a harness like this.
So there's 7?
8.
No, it's
Isn't it
7. Well, they don't have to have those straps. They have to be in a booster that's higher up, makes them sit up.
Excuse me. Oh yeah, sure. Yeah, they're younger than those, but then they have a booster. Yeah, okay, you're right. That one's till 8. Anyway, here, no, he thought that was the silliest thing ever. What? They don't have to. If you want one, you can go buy one. It's up to you. It's your kid. Do whatever you want.
Yeah.
But you don't have to have one of those.
Yeah, and that's what I kind of got the gist of it, is they're your children. You can decide what you want to do with them. It's not up to the government to regulate that. Is kind of what I was getting from it.
Police, I think we might have covered this in the other video a little bit, but they drive around with their lights on all the time. That just means they're on duty. It doesn't mean you have to pull over. I think we covered that a little bit in the last video.
I think so.
But I found that was very strange. That's not something that was normal for us.
Well, and then they have these speakers that if they want you to pull over, they ramble on something in their own language, and everybody just knows that they're supposed to
Get
just
out of the
pull
way.
over.
Yeah. That kind of covers driving. What do you got here? Really short handles on brooms. Yes.
The brooms are very short. And
You have one?
I am a short person. We do in the cover, yeah. I'm a very short person, and I still think it's ridiculous. One thing we thought was funny is that you will see all these older ladies walking around hunched over, like
really hunched over.
like hunched over at the hips. So like a lot of I always joke that a lot of like our culture, we're hunched over at
More on the shoulders.
on the shoulders, right? Where these women are hunched over at the hips, right? So then we noticed that their brooms are so small that they literally have these well, the country homes have these, I would call them corn brooms, but they're not really corn brooms. The corn brooms, I don't know, it's not very long. Anyway, and yeah, they're hunched right over trying to sweep up.
It's more like a duster. It's something you would hold with one hand, but you have to bend way over if you want to sweep your house with
It's
it.
very unpractical, in my opinion. It's
Because
like,
from handle to the end of the broom, can you see my hand? It's maybe this long.
yeah, you're always bent right over and your back's killing you by the time. So I went and bought a long handle
Found a long handle broom, yeah.
broom because I was like, well, this
Even the city workers, I noticed it's next on the list too, but even the city workers, same thing. I've seen them sweeping up the leaves on the side of the road. Same thing, they use these short brooms.
Why not? I can't get a clear picture of it. There you go. Anyway, he sweeps the streets. People walking around and sweep. He's got a little broom. Why they don't get something they don't have to bend over with, I don't know. The broom is just a little straw broom.
Yeah, and they have these rake-looking things too that look like kind of like a broom,
Yeah.
but they're kind of like what I would say.
Made out of trees, like branches. Is that what you're talking about?
Are they branches or are they wire? They almost just look
No,
like.
they're branch. The ones that they had the smaller one like you've got here, the corn broom,
Yeah.
and then they had one made out of tree branches.
Was it branches? Because like the one I seen, it looked like literally a bunch of wires that they've just like twisted up and stuff and like jammed into this thing and.
Oh, okay, maybe we saw something different.
Okay.
So while we're on the city workers, we do see lots of them working by hand. So like the sweeping thing, we would have probably a sweeper truck,
Yeah.
which also is something that always drove you nuts. Sweeping all the sides of the roads and stuff at home.
Yeah.
You've mentioned before.
Well, it just
These guys are
seems
going by hand. They're keeping the cities clean, so they'll have a little dustbin, a little broom, and they're sweeping it in the dustbin. Usually they go in teams of 2, and then they throw all that. So one of them's carrying like I don't know, we get those plastic garbage cans on wheels, and they don't sweeping the stuff up in the dustbin, dumping it in there, and they're walking around the streets cleaning up cigarette butts and leaves and
Yeah, I think it's great that they're
dog
employing.
poop too.
Yeah.
I guess
Yeah.
we were in that open mall, the East Point Mall, the other day, and the dog did its business. And next time I looked over there, it was cleaned up, and I'd never seen anybody go over there. But somebody must have
they're very
swept it up. Got rid of it. Maybe they got cameras watching there.
Yeah,
Quick, clean up aisle 4.
Could be, maybe.
So these are not criticisms. Like we've said, the longer we stay here, the more we fall in love with this place and the people here. It's absolutely wonderful. But they're just strange things that we notice
that we've noticed.
that are like, hey, that's
things
weird.
that make you go,
Yeah, we don't do it like that back home. So
Yeah.
it's been really neat.
And I'm sure every country that you come to, right? We could have probably.
Well, they all have their own little
Yeah,
cultures.
they have their own little thing.
I'm
that
sure they do.
And that, we're not used to or that we think are kind of strange. And I think the longer we stay here, I'm sure we're going to notice more things as well.
Yeah, and more things we'll fall in love with. than we
Yeah.
did. So
Be more practical as well.
Yeah. Hey, I hope you guys enjoyed that. Just little tidbits of things that we found strange here for this week. If you like it, thumb it up. If you don't like it, thumb it down, and share it either way. Because if you don't like it, you might want to say, "Hey guys, check this video. This is really dumb," and then you can share it with whoever you
There
think.
you go.
And if you do like it, say, "Hey guys, check this out. This is a really neat video." Yeah. So either way, just share it anyway, whether it's good or bad.
Yeah.
And then it's up to you whether you want to thumb it up or no, thumb it down or thumb it up. Yeah.
There you go.
Don't forget to hit the notification bell, and if you haven't subscribed, please do so now. And we will catch you guys all in another video. Okay? God bless you.
Hey darling, can I tell you what's been on my mind? Sick and tired of the 9 to 5 in the city life. Hey darling, we could get out of town, see the beautiful world around, wanna see it now. Pack our bags and get in that car, leave a little note and we'll drive real far.